where we think these markets are going, Ewok, you've already kind of summarized it, that you don't think the low for this whole bear market is in. The low of 2022 was about, I don't know, 15.3K or something like that, which came in November, which was a time target you and I had been talking about for a long time, and we kind of hit the nail on the head with that one. Now we've been saying this month, January 2023, we've been feeling like we will be presented with new lows. Obviously, as you get more data, some people like to criticize people with different price calls as being flip-floppers or something like that. But as you get more data and you learn more things, you tend to change your opinion a little bit. That's what free thinking minds do. And yeah, so I am still, I'm with you though. I'm still thinking, as we have, that if I had to place a time on it, I do think this month we will probably see new lows. I'm even more comfortable saying that we'll see a new low in this first quarter. But yeah, this month definitely feels like it. We're getting a relief rally here. We have talked about the next Fed meeting, the FOMC meetings again on January the 31st and February the 1st. We will likely see a new rate hike. We don't know to what, but that is still about 4 weeks away. So I am with you, Ewok. We can call what's happening today a bull trap if we want to, or bear trap, or whichever one that would be. I don't know why that's confusing me. Bull trap. But I don't think anybody should be FOMOing in right now. Certainly, this isn't a day I'd be interested in DCAing. Probably the last couple of days I would have massively in November. But yeah, right now we both still agree that there's downside to head. But I think there's a lot of people, and even smart, educated traders who've been doing this stuff for a while, that I don't know if it's just the energy of turning that page to the new year, or the fact that FTX and everything can be left in 2022. But I'm sensing some optimism here and there from some people that either think the lows are now in, or that, and they're not wrong here, I don't think. How much more down do we really have if you're just talking about Bitcoin and ETH? Maybe up to 50% or so on ETH. I don't know about Bitcoin, though. I don't think we're going to see that. So what do you think, Ewok? Do you agree that people have reason for optimism now? I know you don't think the lows are in, but just give me your more detailed sentiments about the market here in January.
Well, I mean, just looking at Bitcoin here, there's a lot of resistance at this level, this 18,000. If we can even get up into here, right. We'll see how far this goes. This little relief rally isn't much, though. I mean, it is a couple green candles in a row, but there's some major resistance here, about 18,500 in this vicinity. I think it could get up to that and then just fall, which would be, if it goes down to 10 grand, that's almost a 45% drop from there. Yeah. Yeah. So I do agree with you, probably in the ETH range, though. Again, there's a lot of resistance up here at these levels where it's tried to get up. It broke through it once and then just fell. Right. So, 50% from here, which does put us right around that 600 level. There's a lot of DeFi stuff happening, though, that keeps the ETH world alive. It keeps the price and everyone buying Ethereum to do their transactions. So that does have a lot to do with it. There is probably some reason for optimism, but I just think it's a false. I think there's just so much hope that's going on for all of this stuff to be kind of over with. And and we've been saying it for a while, that I just don't think we've reached quite that max pain yet. It hasn't played out enough to get to that point. I just don't think so. I think we are going to see, moving through the rest of this month, I think things are going to pull up a little bit and then pull back. Someone had mentioned the other day, but can Hex really go down any further? But what I see happening is everything's going to kind of run up a little bit. And then when that last drop happens, it's not going to be lower than what it is now. It could come back to these levels. I think maybe a hair lower. I don't really see it going sub penny, though. Just don't see it. Mm-hmm. Could be wrong. I don't have a crystal ball, but just my thoughts and what's going on. I think there's just so much optimism of the new year and hopium that's happening, but I think it's a little premature. I don't think we're there yet.
You brought up a really good point. I think you're right about it. Just kind of, mainly talking about just human emotion and not no numbers or anything really involved or charting or anything. I think a lot of people just want this to be over. I think it's just wishful thinking and the hopium, exactly like you said, that it's been so bad. I mean, 2022 was horrible. And let's face it, a lot of the people that experienced it, it was the first time they experienced anything like that in crypto. It's their first crypto bear market. And it was a bad one. I mean, 2022 was a bad year, FTX and all. So, yeah, I think a lot of it, Ewok, is exactly what you said. I think it's just wishful thinking that people want this to be over, not as much critical thinking. Now, that said, and we've illustrated this point on this show the last few weeks too, I don't think it behooves anybody to be DCAing into the market right now. I don't think if you're a bag holder of, let's just say, Ethereum from almost 5K to now, okay, you are so far down on that buy order at this point that who cares if you $1,200 Ethereum is fantastic. I think you agree. $1,200 Ethereum for the short and even long term is a good deal. I think most of us agree with that, and I think we both agree that we're going to get a 10K Ethereum in the next bull market. I mean, absolutely. We both have talked about the flipping. We've talked about Ethereum flipping Bitcoin ultimately at some point. Yep. You just talked about all the DeFi stuff going on Ethereum because people are using Ethereum. People are using DeFi, and if 2022 taught people anything, is to stop believing all these shysters that are in the classical financial markets that come into crypto and extract your money from you and to believe in DeFi. So, are you going to be, how mad are you really going to be? I should just say this. You shouldn't be all that mad if you buy Ethereum at 1,200, 1,250 and it goes to 600. In the short term, that sucks, but have a little bit of a forward thinking. I mean, this thing was $4,800 not even a year and a half ago. So
but it always sucks when you can get twice as much, just by waiting a little bit. So again, I never recommend putting all your bag in at one time, no matter what the price is, especially when there's not confirmation of being out of this downtrend. Play around a little bit, dabble. Yes, get your feet wet. If you haven't gotten into crypto at all, sure. I mean, it's not going to hurt to get a little bit in there, save some of your bag. And what happens when you do that is you drastically decrease your entry point as it goes down. So there's nothing wrong with, like you said, dipping the feet in the water and testing it out. But again, be prepared that if it does go down, that you're not pissed off at yourself or upset that you bought a little higher than you probably could have, or should have, or didn't take the opportunity to wait just a little bit longer.
And I think having that right mindset all comes from having an actual plan from the get-go. If you're going to be a holder of Ethereum until this, 5 years from now, or if when you want to take profits on it ultimately, and you only take profits at that time, you should be confident in your buys no matter when you make them. If you believe in Ethereum, which if you're watching this show, my guess is you likely do, just have conviction in your buy orders, regardless of what happens in the short term, because 6 months is short term.
Sure.
That's just going to be a short term thing.
If you have a 3 to 5 year plan, you're right. You're totally spot on. That little bit isn't going to matter probably down the road that far. As long as you have a long term mindset, you're going to be fine.